yeah, it's funny. We've been
saying
the black community has been for forever. We've been talking about. We've been fighting for our right to vote, right? There was a time where black people couldn't vote, and things evolved, and a small percent of the black population could vote. Now we're at a time where all people are able to vote, black people are able to vote, but of course the system still finds a way to suppress our votes. We have voter suppression, we have gerrymandering, which finds ways to stop black and brown people, poor people, young people from voting. And Stacey Abrams, who's I'm kind of upset we didn't mention her last episode, is one of our cultural heroes, but she's actually been voted as 2021's Woman of the Year by Vogue magazine. 2020 or 2021's Woman of the Year, because she has been a longtime activist in regards to voter suppression. Okay. And she's a big reason why Georgia was flipped from red to blue.
That's huge.
Which is huge.
Wow, that's huge.
Which is huge, and the fact that there was 2 senators that were that just won the runoff elections.
It's actually it's a Jewish man and a black man.
Yeah, so a Jewish man who was the first Jewish Senate in Georgia.
The youngest Senate.
And youngest Senate, he's 33.
Yeah.
And the first black Senate in Georgia as well. And Stacey Abrams has a big part to play in that, a huge part to play in that. And, part of the reason why, when we're talking about voter suppression and we're talking about these Trump supporters that feel like the election was stolen from them, there was actually evidence in when Stacey Abrams in 2018 was running for governor of Georgia. There was evidence that was found that there was voter suppression. That at the last minute, I think 340,000 people were stopped from voting due to some type of technicalities. And this is something that she's been, and since that time, I think even before then, she's been speaking out about this. She's been speaking out about the fact that black people, brown people, poor people, young people, their votes, don't make it through. They don't end up counting for whatever reason. A lot of these areas where it's, a heavy, black population or a poorer population or a Democrat population, the lines tend to be a lot longer. Voters stand, in lines upward of 5 hours. There's different technicalities. I was watching a clip of a documentary, and this voter finally got to the line to vote, and they're like, "Oh, you already voted," and they're like, "Well, no, I didn't vote. I think I would remember if I voted or not." They're like, "Oh no, you already voted. Sorry, you can't vote again. There's nothing we can do," and turn them away.
Wow.
So there's a lot of these systemic things that even though black people are allowed and able to vote, they still deter us and they still stop us from voting. And I found it interesting. I was reading a Vogue article, and they were interviewing Stacey Abrams, and she talked about in the 80s, she's originally from Mississippi, and she was a Girl Scout. And she was literally chosen by, Girl Scout officials or whatever to represent her chapter in Arizona. And there were people, in the Girl Scout community that were upset that a black woman or a black girl at the time was going to be representing the Girl Scouts.
In the 80s?
In the 80s.
In Arizona?
In Arizona. Wow. So they went as far as messing with her flight reservations so she couldn't make it to the conference.
Wow.
So someone like Stacey Abrams, it seems like this line of work is her calling, because even as a young girl, she was dealing with voter suppression. Right. Not being able to be heard.
Right, like giving her perspective.
Right, exactly. So she said, you know what, after she, and what's crazy is they actually found evidence that there was voter suppression, and there was nothing that was done about it, right? So she ended up losing the election, but she, said, you know what, I'm a do whatever's in my power to make sure this shit don't happen again. And that's exactly what she did, man. She rallied that state. She rallied her people and said, nah, this ain't going to happen. Our voices are going to be heard. We need to get out to the polls. Young people, poor people, black people, brown people, all people. We need to get out there. We need to vote, and we need to make sure our voices are heard. She created 2 different voting initiatives where she made it, very easy for people to vote. And she got around the technicalities and all of that. And that she played a huge role, an instrumental role. She led the charge in flipping Georgia.
Wow, and then Georgia hasn't been blue since what, 1992?
Since Bill Clinton.
Since Bill Clinton. So that's a big deal. That's 28 years.
And imagine Stacey Abrams running for governor, finding the state proving that there was voter suppression, right? And saying, you know what, I'm not going to give up this fight, even though that's what they want me to do. I'm going to make sure I'm going to rally, make sure my people get out there and we vote, flipping Georgia from red to blue. And now you have this goofball getting on the phone with, election officials. And
in Georgia, right?
In Georgia. With the Secretary of State, and saying, "Yo, I need you to overturn this shit.
Find me some votes.
I need you to find me some votes and overturn all the hard work and dedication that the people of Georgia, Stacey Abrams, and the people on the ground had to do to flip that state.
I need more red votes in Atlanta.
Find them. This dude, did you hear that call?
No, I did not hear it.
Bruh, this dude sounds like the mob.
What was he, just bullying?
He was basically saying, yo, you guys are you're committing a crime here, because there's fraud, but you're not doing anything about it. It's not looking good for you guys. Like, I just need you to find me some votes. He was basically getting at, like, he was bullying them. He was basically saying, yo, if y'all don't find me some votes,
you're not going to be in politics.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
It's going to be a problem.
You're going to lose your job.
There's going to be a problem. Like, I don't care how you guys find me the votes. Just find me the votes.
Just do it.
Not, can we recount the votes to make sure, everything was accounted for and it was a fair election and that Biden actually did win or didn't win. No. I just need you to find me votes in my favor. How this man is not in jail by now is beyond me.
Wow.
This is a movie.
It's real life. A real life movie. But yo, shout out to Stacey Abrams for dedicating herself to making sure that our vote is not suppressed. Bro, that was her mission. That's big ups to Stacey Abrams.
Because any normal person, right, would have quit. Like, you lost an election and it was proven that there was vote suppressed, right? Mm-hmm. And the margin in which you lost by was based on those suppressed votes.
Right.
Was largely based on the suppressed vote. A normal person would have been like, fuck the system, this racist ass system. I'm not playing this game. I'm done with politics. I'm out.
Right.
She said no. I think one of the quotes in Vogue magazine was, she said, I sat Shiva for 10 days. Then I started plotting.
She meditated.
She meditated
on it.
And she got to work. She said, This is not the end of my chapter. This is not the end of our story. We're gonna make a difference. We're gonna make a change, and we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. And salute to Georgia. Salute to Stacey Abrams, her whole team, everyone that had boots on the ground in that state. What you guys did was
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike
was a huge
Killer
part.
Mike. Yeah, T.I., all the people in
Like,
Georgia,
man.
man. You guys did y'all thing. You guys made history.
Salute to all those brothers and sisters
You
down
guys,
there in
and
Atlanta,
Stacey
Georgia.
Abrams, we miss you.
Man.
We left you out on last week's episode about cultural heroes, but you are definitely a cultural hero. So we just wanted
Queen.
to, salute her on that.
But on top of that, on top of Stacey Abrams, like the big thing this year was mail-in ballots, right?
Right.
And mail-in ballots kind of helped voter suppression. Okay, so maybe I walk up to the polls and I gotta wait in that line for 5 hours, and now you're denying me once I get there.
Right.
But now, due to COVID, I could just mail in my ballot.
Right.
So now you can suppress my vote because I sent it. It's going unless you do something with the U.S. mail system, which Trump tried to do.
What they were trying to do.
Which he tried to do. Try to still suppress the vote. But in the end, when those ballots came in through mail, it shot Biden up. Mm-hmm. So this round, we found a way to kind of get around voter suppression.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, man, we just got to keep fighting, man. We got to find ways around the system, not give up on the system, because there's ways we can still engage. The only way to beat the system is engage in the system, put people in place, make changes, and change things from the inside out. We just saw it in Georgia. We have two senators. Well, we have two Democratic senators.
Right.
One being black. We've made history. The Democrats control the House, which is huge as well. So we just gotta, the system does work, but we gotta know that there's some people in the background trying to, suppress us.
Right. So like you said, engage, vote locally, vote your president in, whatever the case may be, but just get active.
You gotta
have
get
a
active.
voice. Speak up.
Voice.
Give your opinion. Have conversations with people.
Right.
Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Talk to the people that don't have your same viewpoint, so you guys can kind of find a common ground. Yeah. Maybe you guys are more alike than you think.
Exactly. Because that's what they want us to do. They want us to disengage and not vote, not get out there and have these conversations with our people.
They want us to be on polar opposite extreme ends.
Exactly.
And in reality, I believe the new silent majority is in the middle. The silent majority used to be the conservative right. They would just kind of sit back, let the liberals go crazy.
Right.
But I believe the new silent majority are the people that share ideals from both sides and are not side choosing. They're looking at the facts. They're looking at what's going on, what our future looks like, what's happened in our past, and find a common ground that makes sense for all people. I feel like those people that have those ideals are the silent majority.
Right.